You were going to, or at least you had considered meeting with President Putin, and you've declined to. Had you met with him, what was going to be on your agenda with the president?
Well, I just said that, you know, frankly, in light of what happened with Ukraine, with the ships and the sailors, it just wouldn't be the right time. But I will meet with him. I think we have a very good relationship, and I think we're going to have a very good relationship with Russia and China and everyone else. I mean, I think it's important. So I'll meet with him at the appropriate time.
What do you think he's thinking about doing with Ukraine? Why did he seize the sailors?
I can't read his mind, and nobody can, and he knows what he wants to do, but we can't allow certain things to happen. And, you know, it happened, and I just can't be a part of it.
All right. One of the issues of a global economy is climate change. That's a discussion here. What's your position on climate change and how it has an effect on the economy worldwide?
Very simple. I want the cleanest air and the cleanest water on the planet. I want crystal clean water, and that's what we have. We've been doing very well with respect to the environment, and that's what I want. But I'm not going to put the country out of business trying to maintain certain standards that probably don't matter. When you look at China and when you look at other countries where they have very, you know, foul air, they have not good air, that comes over to the United States. You know, people don't want to talk about it, but it comes over. So we're going to be clean, but they're not, and it costs a lot of money. Well, the fact is we are absolutely clean, but we're not going to spend trillions of dollars and make it good for others, but not make it good for, you know, I have a very simple policy. It's called America First. At the same time, we're going to be a great neighbor to the world, but we have to treat ourselves fairly. So that's the way it is.
Are you going to mention President Xi about climate change?
We'll talk about it. We're talking about a lot of things. Look, the big thing we're talking about is trade. That's what people want to hear. And, you know, he's got to do something with his climate. His climate's a little bit tough, but, and I'm sure he will. I think he's a friend of mine. He's a good man, but, you know, we have a little bit of a dispute. And again, our country has been taken advantage of for many years, and that's just not going to happen anymore.
There's a big vote coming up in the House of Commons in the UK. Prime Minister Theresa May is here. Brexit's a trade issue. How's she handling it? And what's the impact on the United States?
Well, it's a very tough thing. I told her I would have done it somewhat differently, actually quite a bit differently, but I think she's a good woman, and she's really working hard. I mean, what she's going through, that is a hard situation for her. I would have done it differently. I would have had a much different attitude. I think the concept of what they're doing, you know, separating is good. I think that's a good thing. They want their own identity. They want their own immigration laws. They don't want to be told who they want and who they don't want. But she's working very hard, I will say that.
In terms of, though, the impact on the United States, is the United States sort of a spectator to what's
well, I told
Brexit,
her,
or is it directly impact?
Look, it is. We are a spectator to a certain extent.
It's
their country. I mean, they have to do what they have to do, and we'll see if they get through Parliament. It's going to be very interesting as to whether or not they do. European Union, that's a tough group, I will tell you. They are just about as rough as China on trade with us, and they're going to be next. They'll be next. But the fact is they're very bad on trade with us. They have tremendous barriers. They have trade barriers, tremendous. They have non-tariff trade barriers also, and they have tariffs. We lost with them over the last number of years $151 billion a year. That's the European Union. You know, you think about it, it sounds so nice, but they've been very tough on trade. So they were tough with her, but we'll take care of our share, I can tell you that.
All right, now our domestic economy, next week there's a vote possibly on a government shutdown. First of all, do you think there is going to be a U.S. government shutdown, and does that have any sort of global economic impact?
Well, I can't tell you if there's going to be a shutdown because nobody knows, but I will tell you we're going to have border security. We're going to have a lot of border security. You saw what we did with all of the caravans coming up, and now they're starting to head out. They're starting to go back. But we are going to have security. We're not going to let people come into our country illegally. We're going to have people come in on merit. We need people. You know, we have the lowest unemployment rate we've had in 51 years. We need people in this country. We have companies moving in. In fact, Prime Minister Abe of Japan just told me they're moving 2 big car companies. They're going to be opening up 2 massive plants. You know, you don't hear that often, but a lot of that is happening. You hear about a General Motors, and I don't know what happened with General Motors, but the trend is exactly the opposite. And I will say this, our economy has never done better. We're doing unbelievable numbers. You see that. And a lot of good things are happening.
$5 billion is what you want for the wall, this go-around. So far, Congress is saying that it won't. So what happens?
We'll have to see what happens.